Okay, today is July 24th. It's the day after this target date that I was looking for something to happen. Well, something did happen, not just exactly on this day, but in and around this day. They are the Israelis and the Palestinians seem to be having kind of some sort of a battle over the Temple Mount. And Israel says, no, we're not trying to take over the Temple Mount. Palestine is in fumes because their plans, which I believe come from the devil, are unable to be fulfilled. Or maybe they see this as the beginning of the end. I don't know. Let's see here. They sent the United Nations sent a representative to Israel, and I thought what he said was incredibly interesting. I don't know if he was speaking out of knowledge of the Bible or not, but definitely prophetic. I think the danger of the on he says I think the danger on the ground will escalate if we go through another cycle of Friday prayer without a resolution, meaning within the next 5 days, if this isn't resolved, it will escalate. Then down here at the bottom, he also says, let's see what this is. In fact, the incidents may be taking place over a couple of hundred square meters, but they affect millions of people, if not billions of people around the world, meaning the whole world. They have the potential, these incidents have the potential to have catastrophic costs well beyond the walls of the old city, a part of Jerusalem, well beyond Israel and Palestine, well beyond the Middle East itself. What's well beyond the Middle East? The entire world. So this guy knows that this guy is saying if things don't get resolved by Friday, it's going to affect the whole world. This is what one of the Jewish people said. They had lost family members. God of vengeance appear. I hope when he does appear that everybody will turn to Jesus. Well, before that. So we are, yesterday, the 23rd, was 62 days from the Revelation 2 sign, and 62 plus 7 days from Yom Kippur. And those two numbers, 62 and 62 plus 7, appear in Daniel chapter 9, meaning that it's possible Daniel chapter 9 was first fulfilled in groups of 7 years, and then in 70 years, and then possibly now in 70 days, meaning that the last week referred to in Daniel is actually going to be this time around a week. And it looks like Great Tribulation is a small period of time, possibly 10 days, beginning on September 20th, ending on Yom Kippur, September 30th, and ending with a worldwide earthquake, the sun turning black, the moon turning red, and Jesus appearing in the sky, not as a God of vengeance at that moment, but to rapture the people. And then immediately afterward, the wrath of God begins. Immediately afterward. And those Jewish people who did not cry out to Jesus, but yet are still alive in the city of Jerusalem as it's being butchered by armies, those people will escape through the Mount of Olives. Jesus will, immediately after the rapture, stand on the Mount of Olives. It will split open, and those people will go into the wilderness for 3.5 years. They will be taken care of. They will not be persecuted. They will be taken care of. The devil will try to find them. He will send a flood, but the earth will swallow it up. So I'm not sure what that means, a flood of words to lure them out, a flood of armies. I don't know, but he will try to get them. But they will be taken care of for 3.5 years in the wilderness. And during that time, the trumpets and the bowls will be poured out. I believe that all the countries which are going to surround Israel will be Muslim. And after Jesus appears and rescues his people, I believe they will all be destroyed. And when that happens, everyone will know the true God. They will know that Islam does not speak for God. And at that point, everybody will be wondering, well, what do we do now? And that's when this false religion will come about. I'm not sure about all of that, but it's definitely worth thinking about. It's definitely worth being expectant for. It's also very possible that one of these Islamic characters or one of these worldwide characters that are not of God are going to stand in a holy place. We have to have that. The man of sin has to be revealed, and he will. Let's see. He will sit in the temple of God, showing himself to be God. He doesn't actually proclaim he's God. So we should be, he might proclaim it, but we should be looking for someone who sits in the temple of God, proclaiming himself to be God. This is not symbolic, it's an actual literal event. It may have symbolic counterparts, but it will be a literal event. And according just to looking at the words of the Greek, it doesn't necessarily have to be the temple of the God. It could be a temple of a God. So I'm not saying that it is or isn't. I'm just saying, look, play the field. Look for all the signs. If somebody goes and stands in the Dome of the Rock or this mosque that's on the Temple Mount and says, "I am God," or just stands there and doesn't say anything, but yet all the Muslims of the whole world are chanting, "There is God, or something. I mean, if it looks like it fits, run for the hills. If you live in Israel, duck and cover, get out of there. I mean, I wouldn't say like, "Oh, this can't be it. It's just a decoy." No, because lives are on the line at that point. Okay,